Right then, hello and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 2, about to crack on with the Rivalry Face-Off. It is the Great American Face-Off, which is a championship open to Camaro and Mustang models. I've bought the good old Camaro SS because I used to have a little plastic model of this back in the day when I was a wee young lad, and it was just plastic. It was, well, it wasn't too small, it was fairly medium size, but it was convertible, and the headlights used to come on. It was really, really good. I've given it the same colour as well, like a turquoisey blue-green look. And the only upgrades I've added onto this are the mechanical upgrades. I have added nothing to the engine at all, so it's going to be purely down to the weight reduction and everything else. So the Great American Face-Off, then we could win the number 10 Mustang for this championship. 3 races as always. It's going to be Road Atlanta short, heading to New York, and then finishing off at Mazda Raceway at Laguna, Seca. So yeah, race number 1 then, 10,000 credits for a race victory, not including the car rarity bonus and difficulty bonus as always. So yeah, I've tested this car and it doesn't handle too bad. I'm going to be on pole position because I am in the A-class grade, but again, that doesn't really mean much because the engine hasn't been upgraded. So we have Taylor in the Cobra, Davis, Williams, Brown, Miller, Anderson, and Jones at the back in the 1968 GT 500 KR. 2, 1, go! Not a bad start. It's a shame that I can't get access to that Mustang, the red one behind, because I need to be in the American region and I have to be at level 20, driver level 20 to unlock the car, but because I'm in Europe, that is one of a handful of cars in America and Japan that you cannot get access to, which is a shame. But, oh well. Small price to pay. That is a nice Mustang though. I used to drive that all the time in Gran Turismo 3. A really lovely machine. And this car doesn't handle too bad either. I've added the racing tyres and the front splitter, rear spoiler and rear diffuser. So it does handle fairly well. It's still a little bit loose on the rear end, but I haven't adjusted the downforce any. If you do hear a little bit of bumping and banging in the background, that is just the kittens playing in the passage. They keep ramming into my door because they're little sods. Yeah, they're all play fighting in the passage and they keep bumping into my door. It keeps making me jump miles, especially if I'm sat here in the quiet editing or whatever, and then all of a sudden there's a massive thump against the door. The joys of having cats, I suppose. We're pulling away. We're already 1,000 meters ahead of Williams in 4th place. Now, I am going to warn you now, there will be an absolutely huge abundance of Forza Motorsport 2 uploads going up in, well, however long it's going to take to complete the game, because I do want to get this game finished. As I mentioned before, I've already completely decimated this game over on the second channel. It took about 2 months, but I managed to get all 90 videos recorded, edited, rendered, uploaded, scheduled. And yeah, it was a pain. Especially the other day, I was rendering the last episode, so episode 90, and it took about 4 hours. And it got to the last half an hour of the render, so I was like, oh, fantastic. And then the electric went. So everything shut down, I had to do the render again, which didn't go down too well. And of course, the files I had already rendered up to that point were completely corrupted and unusable. So, yeah, I was not a happy chappy. Oh well, that's all done. So I can now focus. I think all the uploads that are scheduled on the second channel now go up to July. So I can really knuckle down and focus on the main channel. Because again, I'm uploading daily rather than every other day. So it's going to be a lot more work. But hopefully it will help the channel grow to some extent. But we'll see. Well, I've been doing this for over a decade, and, you know, the channel is grown slowly, which is nice. I don't want it to just boom in growth overnight, because it stagnates, and once you get to that point, it just stagnates and no one cares. But, I don't know. It's nicer to have a smaller community, because, you know, you're not going to be inundated with comments and this, that, and the other. In fact, no one comments anyway. Not really. The only person that does is Tail Tapper or Tool Tapper, sorry, and Keanu Reeve. They are the main two that comment a lot, which I appreciate massively. And there we go. Race 1 is complete. But yeah, you know, have a comment in the, or leave a comment in the comment section. It's always nice to see new faces, and I always have a chat. I don't ever ignore people, unlike some, which I cannot stand. You get these large channels or whatever, and they don't even spare like a few minutes just to respond to their viewer base. It's just ignorant. They're just doing it purely to get big and famous and this, that, and the other, which I'm not. I am not doing this to get big and famous, because that will never happen. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, oh, what if someone comes up to me with a, you know, a sponsorship deal? I would never take it. I am not going to sell out. This channel is fine the way it is. I do all the work. I don't have editors or anything like that. I do everything for this channel. And that is the way it's been for the last 10 years. And that is the way it's going to stay until I decide to have a mental breakdown and pack it in. So, yeah. Leave a comment, have a chat, or whatever. Like the video. Do all that lovely guff that no one really does these days. Which is unfortunate. Anyway, enough waffling on. I know people don't like me waffling, so... And again, that's why I decided to make the second channel anyway. It's just... all the games I play on the main, I just don't talk over them. So if people don't like me talking, then they're more than welcome to go to the other channel. So what's the top speed of this thing with the upgraded gearbox? It's not going to be that fast. I think we're not even going to reach 150. No, 142, 143 at a push. But that is still plenty fast enough. Now, another thing as well I'd like to mention is I have been collecting, you know, really cheapy consoles on eBay. Some of them work, some of them don't. Even though they say, oh yeah, it's been completely refurbished. And they don't. They're rusted all the way through, and yeah, they just don't work. But I got myself another spare original Xbox console, which I've given to a friend of mine to see if he can change the format to an HDMI output. So if that is possible, then I will be able to record directly from the Xbox console rather than going through a bunch of splitters and older capture cards. So fingers crossed that all works out well. If not, it's no big loss. I mean, like I said, the problem that I'm having, or I'm facing at the moment, is recording in 60 FPS with the original Xbox and the PS2 console, because you have to edit your output to 720 as I go for a half spin. And I've tried doing that, and the game still records, or the console still only records at 30 FPS rather than 60, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And the capture card that I'm using for that is one of the older Elgato Game Capture HDs. So I have got in touch with Elgato as well, and they say the same thing, you know, you have to change your output to 720, but they didn't specify if that was on OBS or if that was on the console itself or what. I'm not sure. So yeah, I thought, well, you know, if my friend's able to change the console to an HDMI output, then that'll negate all of that and I don't have to worry about splitters. And then if he can do that with the Xbox, then I will see if he can do the same with the PS2. Because another thing that I get as well with the capture card is that you get like a very distinguished buzzing noise. A little bit like the old computers like the Amstrad and the Spectrum and the Commodore. Is when you had the monitor hooked up to it, you'd always get a very distinct buzz. And it's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, quality is of the essence. I don't want to half-ass anything. That's why I got rid of the original series of Forza Motorsport 1. Because the quality was just not there, it was crap. So that's why I deleted Forza 1. In the hope that when I get the console back, however long it's going to take, I could then start again with higher quality. But we'll see. We shall see. At the moment, the games that do work on the PS3, which are PS2 like MotoGP, that's absolutely fine. I can still work around that. But all this stuff I have to go through for 50 views. Yay! Anyway, race 2 is complete. We'll do the usual, handbrake it and reverse over the line. Like so. I'm not going to save that replay because the visuals around New York are really, really crap. They're too dark. So you can't really tell what's going on, so I'm not even going to bother with the replay on that one. Okay, last race then. Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca for 4 laps. And that'll be another championship wrapped up. This car should handle really well around Laguna Seca with the downforce. It'll be a lot faster around the tighter courses than the other machines can handle, so. Okie dokie. 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to let Taylor catch up. Take the inside line. Go on, Taylor. Take the inside line. Ooh. Just so I can tailgate him a little bit. And then possibly get a good thumbnail for the video itself. Because my car is faster than his, so I can just go side by side. Lift off the throttle a little bit. Go slower, let him pass again. Corkscrew should be a good photo op. So if I can... I was going to try and dive up the inside of him, but I didn't want to do any damage. Right here, side by side. You still there? Yep. And here. I think he's still on the inside. Yes, he is. Okay, enough playing around. Let's get a move. Oh, he's actually nudging me there as well. Now that should be good enough for a decent thumbnail. I've noticed the camera angles on this game are not really that good. Most of the time they always go onto this onboard camera or the one that swivels around the car, a bit like a modern drone. But then they tend to go on the bumper cam or onboard, or, you know, they're just not good enough, especially around places like Nürburgring Nordschleife. Like you have the uphill straight with the bumps and the bridge, and the car does get some really good air. What they should have done was had like a stationary camera so you could see the cars launching over the crest. Now that would have been cool. But no, instead you got a camera that is sort of fixed on the rear quarter panel, which looks really daft, and then it just rotates around the car. So yeah, this game is really good, but the camera angles and the replays, not so much. And there's way too much bloom and glare and this, that and the other as well. And some of the tracks are really, really dark, a bit like New York. It's just so dark because it's going into sunset, I guess. But you can't really see what the bloody hell's going on. Got a little bit of a time penalty. Not going to cause too many problems. I'm still up on our previous lap time by, what was it, 6 seconds? Eight seconds, okay. Better than I thought. Final lap, we get a lap time of a 1:30.295. 11 seconds faster. That's pretty good from the old Camaro. Increasing our lap time as well by just under a second. And we're over a second faster again. We can get into the 1:30s. We lost a bit of time because we got a 0.3 of a second penalty. Oh well, it'll still be a 1:29. There we go, a 129.3 I think that was. Oh no, 129.5. So, not too bad. What did Taylor get? He got a 136. Bloody hell, we were 7 seconds faster than Taylor in the Mustang. Oh well, it's got to be done. And we're at level 3 as well with the Chevy. And that is the American face-off complete. Hooray! So we get the 2004 Mustang as well, the number 10. The SCCA Mustang. I think it's the SCCA, isn't it? Yeah, it is. SCCA. So, what's that stand for again? The Sports Car Championship of America or something? I don't know. But, oh well, it's a decent enough car. It looks a bit like the BMW on Need for Speed. It's got a similar livery. Okay, next time then, it is the competition between the Subaru and the Mitsubishi. So, the good old rally cars. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And if you want me to go for the Subaru, just say. If you want me to go for the Mitsubishi, just say. And, yeah. So, with that, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And I will see you all next time. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now.